NCRP Productions presents Fantasy Flight's Star Wars RPG, Season 2, Episode 8.
Hello, and welcome to the table in a galaxy far, far away. I'll be your Dungeon Master tonight, David, and today we will be playing the Fantasy Flight game Edge of Empire, Age of Rebellion, and Force and Destiny as one complete collection. Let's start by meeting our players, starting from our left.
Hello everybody, this is Josh. I play Locke, the Iridonian Zabrak bounty hunter gadgeteer.
Hey, this is Barry. I am running Grist, the Squib Shadow Sentinel.
This is Ty playing Victus, the Twi'lek mystic Makashi Duelist.
I'm Jessica, and I will be playing Jimothy, the Grenade Goblin.
Wait a second.
Yeah,
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm multi-classing.
Yeah, my powers. All right, let's start with rolling that white D12, the Force dice, and seeing what our Destiny pool looks like this session.
2 light side. Finally.
We have two dark side from Grist.
Yeah.
One dark side.
And I have one light.
Yes.
Ooh, and then we move over one of those lights to dark. So we got 2 light side, 4 dark. That was actually not as bad as it could have been.
We're pushing
It's actually
against the
a little bit
tide.
Not as bad as last week, where we started with 4 and 1.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with
We
that.
have twice as many light side points this time.
My power has doubled. Wait a second. All right. So when we last left our team, they were escaping with the newly freed individuals. They had found out that the item they were looking for, the JL-12F high-yield explosive, is on another planet in Ord Vaxel.
The princess is in another castle.
Yeah, exactly. God damn it, Toad.
Grazakrut, the Trandoshan, that has a history with Victus, followed along. Their team had a valorous escape, led by Locke being a leader to these newly freed individuals. The team took
Reluctant leader. Let's make sure that that's included.
reluctant, valorous leader.
Reluctantly leading by example.
The team took off. Sadly, Grist was unconscious and unable to fly his ship to safety, but quickly regained his position. During your travel to help find a place to drop off these individuals,
The NFIs.
your team decided that, hey, we need to drop them off, refuel the ship, and we're going to head on to Ord Vaxel. During that time, Graz attempted to speak with Victus, which led to a heated duel, ending in a almost potential bloodbath, with Victus maybe, let's say, actually beginning to question himself and his philosophy. Leaving Graz locked in the airlock, our team lands at this outpost. The individuals have left. This is just a simple spaceport. Nothing major, nothing big. You know, it's essentially like one of those truck stops you see off any major interstate. So, what is the plan? The newly found individuals help, give you their credits that they had from the sold blasters. They are going to give you, essentially, they figured it out because there was a merchant amongst their group. They were able to collectively sell these remnant blasters and extra ammo packs because everyone likes illicit weapons. They made 5,000 credits.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Very nice. Okay.
We should really look into this whole weapon trading thing.
You should talk to the Black Sun about that.
Yeah, I know.
However, we need to buy fuel. So
True.
we will convert 5,000 credits to what in fuel? How does that work?
So,
Dave, tell us how that works.
So fuel is a fun part of this ship, along with parts. Their ship, the YT-2000, has 3 weeks' worth of fuel. Imagine that fuel each day is 1 canister of fuel. A canister of fuel costs a minimum of 500 credits. It can cost more or less, depending on negotiation, relations, things as such. Luckily, you're still in a pretty populated region, even though this is just kind of an interstate, like hyperlane. They were able to get you a good deal. So you had 1 week of travel to your previous planet that you have just escaped, Vendaxa. You took 1 day to get here, and then you will have 2 days to get here, and then 3 days to get to Ord Vaxel. So 7 plus 5.
I say we just spend all 5,000 on fuel and get 10 days worth of fuel.
Well, a couple of things. Will it hold more fuel? Is 3 weeks our maximum?
So 3 weeks is what you can put in the tank, but essentially you have a ton of storage space that allows you to hold extra ammo, extra ships. Is
there a way in ship for us to put the fuel from... Because we can't do that in space. Just
Yeah.
making sure that we're still dealing... Okay. Newtonian physics and all.
Your ship is big enough that, to understand, you guys can store either one fighter ship in your own starship. It is a very large... It's called a medium-class freighter.
Mm-hmm.
You can either store one starfighter or up to 3 or 4 ground vehicles, like speeders, tanks, some type of riot walkers. So essentially they'll send you...
Grenade sandcrawler.
Yeah, essentially they're like, hey man, we'll sell you these large cylinders with little hover stabilizers, and we'll just put it in, and you just mag lock it down and make sure you don't do too many barrel rolls. And
So when the idea is maybe when we stop, we would load then.
Yep. And so...
All right, so I am good with that to a point. We also were 2 days with more than twice as many people as we normally have. We have 4 weeks of food on the ship, and so we've used more than a week of food. So what does a week of food cost?
This is the fun part of Star Wars that no one...
500?
Not that bad. 300.
300. Okay.
To understand, this is the fun part. To buy death sticks, cigarettes, and that's not like a pack, like a Marvel pack of like 12. You're buying a pack of 3 death sticks is like 500 credits. To buy one ration is for one meal is 100 credits. Food and stuff is very overpriced in the galaxy. There's especially years of the system, the galaxy going from Republic to Empire to back to Republic to the Galactic Union and now like the Remnant.
Sure.
Is this galaxy has faced way too much upheaval, and that's part of what you're seeing.
It mirrors our own universe, where we've gone from normal to pandemic to whatever we call this, and we've seen prices go up 25 to 65% on things that are available right outside the door. So I get it.
Essentially, you have to go to wherever region sells whatever they sell at, and that's where you'll find it cheapest. Welcome to
300 credits will get us a week's worth of food for us.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to spend 600 refilling our 4 weeks. Coming down from that leaves us with 4,400. So then we'll get, I'd say we get 8 units of fuel. That was it.
8 days of fuel.
8 days of
Could Jimothy
fuel.
haggle?
Yes, negotiations is always a skill. Would you like to try to negotiate for
Yeah,
deals?
yeah.
Absolutely.
I've got a special ability called Clever Negotiator where I can use cunning instead of presence
Welcome.
when
Okay.
I negotiate.
Cool.
Do it.
But I'm going because this is one of my jobs on the
All right.
ship.
One of your mini jobs. So this will be against the individual. This
Can
is
I
a
assist?
2 difficulty. Yes, you may.
So the question is, does my assist help? I would give you 2 dice. One of them could be, I have 1 skill.
Well, so what you would give is you're either both haggling together. So whoever has
That's funnier.
That's a recipe for
Yeah,
disaster.
I think that's funnier because we'd be arguing with each other.
the mechanic is essentially you could still use your cunning, and you would use your skill and negotiation.
Oh, you don't have skill with it. Okay, good. So
you
you
have
change
king
one of
of
your
your-
greens to a yellow. That's
Change
what.
one of
That's
my
the
greens
net
to
result.
yellow. Okay.
I didn't know.
That's,
All right.
that's the fun one.
So we are haggling together, which I
Essentially,
think is
She's
hilarious.
using her skill. How is she trading her green for yellow? Because if you're assisting, you're giving the attribute, not the skill.
No.
You give whatever the highest stat is from each individual.
Okay, I didn't understand that correctly then.
Essentially, what this would look like.
I thought you
to
could only give
an
characteristics.
example is Jimothy is very able to tell is talking in Jawanese is about how this is bad food and this isn't worth it. Like this sludge has been here for 3 weeks, and Grist is just like, oh man, can you hear that, guys? You're just making a scene. You're doing those.
So it really doesn't matter who's the assisting and assister. The result is the same.
It's a
more
team
for
effort.
a
I thought
role
always
play.
the assistee was the guy with the higher characteristic that was untrained, but that's not
It's
good.
whatever the role play is. So the person trained is essentially, this would be, even though it's her skill, this would be essentially Grist being the main talker, and you're giving him all of this cool information where you're like, yeah, this is terrible. And he's like, yeah, so you're trying to tell me sell terrible food. So that's more what that looks
Do
like.
we tell you what we'd like to, what I'd like to negotiate for is the 2 weeks of food, and instead of 8 days of fuel, 2 weeks of fuel, 14 days of fuel.
Okay, let's see what that turns out to.
All right.
And that would be, and actually it's not quite that, but for the 5,000, basically we're asking for an extra week of fuel at 100 credits less than it should be. That's all we're asking for.
3
effectively.
successes, 1 advantage.
Ooh. So you're asking for the same price, but just different quantities.
Yeah.
As they see your kind of Black Sun gear, they see that you release these slaves. They're like, you know what? I'm just not going to ask questions. So like that, if you remember in Star Wars Episode 2, the fat 4-armed alien who's just like the diner worker.
Yeah.
He's just like, whatever, just take it. I don't want to know. Just good doing business with you. It's like both hands go out to each of you and like shake.
All right. So effectively, we have 3 weeks of fuel on the ship.
Yes.
In the ship.
And
we have 1 week of fuel stored
on the ship.
All right, perfect.
So that just means, remember, you have high yield explosives, fuel, explodium in there. You can just push out, all that fuel.
Wait a minute. How many letters are in Jimothy? Because there's 7 barrels. And Jimothy goes through and tags the barrels.
I just imagine
there are 7 letters in my name.
Jimothy's just putting like extra like Jawa robes on them, being like, "No, these are Jawas. They know what's up."
So, what did we do with Graz?
Yeah, you guys left.
He's currently in the airlock.
Correct. I want to discuss this with all you. So I'll get once you're back from negotiations. I'm going to be waiting in the mess room, and I'm going to have already gathered Locke there. And so you two more vertically challenged individuals return, and
hey, what's going on?
Close the door. Come on in.
Oh, okay. Shh.
Please have a seat.
Okay, did I do something wrong? Oh wait, Jimothy did something
many
wrong.
things,
Hey.
but this is not about any of those things.
We have to deal. We have to talk about the Trandoshan in the corner.
We all
Are
look
you
down the
talking
hallway.
near, like,
No.
I was like, you just see him like watching. It's like a lizard, just like licking his own eye.
Now, so we need to discuss what we're going to do about this Graz.
I thought he was coming with us to Ordvax.
I don't think that'd be a good idea.
I'm not too sure if he's in a stable state to do that. I do see the logic of that, though. That is what his duty is. But I feel like I have tainted any dialogue with him.
Well, what's he want on Ordvaxel? What's his goal?
Yeah, what does he want?
He wants to kill the leader of the base that we are previously at.
And speaking completely tactically and not in any way with compassion, what's the problem with using him as a weapon?
Well,
He'll
the
kill
problem
us first.
Correct. The problem is that this weapon has 2 edges.
Okay, well, it seems to me that he is an unpredictable X factor here. Although if we could harness that energy and force it against our opponents, then we could come out ahead still.
Yeah, I mean, we let him go. We drop him off at one end of the city, and then we go to the other side. That kind of thing.
We don't.
Have you asked him if he wants to go? I mean, I haven't gone down the hallway, but
No.
He doesn't at least seem openly hostile to anyone. I mean,
he was kind of hostile.
well,
He was kind of hostile to
he got to
Victus
that
the other day.
point, but you know how people can get when blows are traded. Sometimes emotions get the better of us. Maybe just keep him on ice until we get there. Let him know. Bring him some food, and just drop him off on the planet.
I'm good with Locke, but I'm going to trust you as far as he goes. I don't know how they work. He's maybe the 3rd one I've ever seen.
Victus crosses his arms and kind of side-eyes Jimothy.
Grenades work best when they are away from the thrower.
I see. Very well. It seems that
Well spoken.
everyone's in agreement. We take him to Ord Vaxel, and we let him do what damage he can. I must warn you that this may have undesired consequences.
Do you think he'll turn on you? Do you think he'll
I
hinder our
don't-
mission in any way?
He is unstable. That is all I can say for certain.
So, in my time, my ears are kind of halfway down. In my time, I get feelings from people. Like I can kind of sense things. Not that I've sensed anything from him yet. I haven't sensed anyone in here either. But not that I've sensed him yet. But maybe we go down. You ask him if he still wants to go, and I'll see if I read anything off it.
You might want to bring him some food too. It's been.
Oh, I imagine we've fed him. It's been it's been like days.
It's been a day.
It might be a little more agreeable
day.
if you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but What do Trandoshans eat? Do we have any raw meat?
And advice.
Yeah, exactly. Correct. The small boy.
Hey,
we
man.
had to get rid of the guy who saw the
He's an
apartment.
ex-NFI. He are still a current NFI. You feeds him whatever he wants. He knows what it's like. Hey man, eat this slop. Be happy about it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we might have fed him, but it's not to say that he ate it.
I imagine like you have like tongs, like a real like lizard, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how we got the food in there to him.
Well, I figured it was like put your hands up against the opposite wall. We're gonna leave something on the floor.
If you guys have like walked past, he actually, it's weird. You just see him like kneeling.
Yep. Like in a
like,
trance.
like a trance, like, but not like doing the Jedi like kneel with his hands on his like knees. Like it's almost more like lizard primal. Like he's kneeling with his like body forward, like in a like a pounce position, like a position of dominance. You see him like periodically do the like, you know, they do the chest bump.
Right, we call them the lizard push-ups.
Yeah. Just the,
Yeah.
He's doing like, he just seems to be in this trance.
He's slowing down his metabolism so he can last longer. Or he'll eat his own tail. One of the two.
I mean,
Whichever
the
happens
Trandoshans
first.
do grow wounds.
And
He
yeah,
can just-
they regrow limbs.
Yeah, he can just eat his own tail or his own
gross.
feet and hands.
Hey, man, don't judge it till you try it.
Have you
Slow
tried-
cook with Trandoshan tail is a
Have you
delicacy.
tried alligator? It's just that, but juicier.
Yeah.
Because it's sentient.
Oh man, yes.
All right.
I have had
So
many
when we
alligator
get there,
Well,
bits.
before we get there, I wanted you and I are going to go talk with him.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're saying before we get to his...
when we get to his thing,
Okay.
Grist is going to try and feel. Okay, and again, he's not trained in any of this stuff, but I'm going to roll the force die to use the ability.
Dark side? You gonna use those dark side?
Do you want to flip a roo? Can you flip one of these, or do
I don't think
just
you
take
can.
straight
I
in?
know.
I think it's more
technically-
narrative.
It's their narrative thing.
I envision at this point that he's gonna. So this is power to him. This ability, he's realizing he has it. So now it's a very selfish thing. He wants to see if he can use it. So yeah, I'm going to use the dark side point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do sense. The user may spend points to sense the current emotional state of one living target with whom he is engaged.
mad.
And so that's when Victus is speaking with him, I'm going to just see if I can feel something. You know, now I'm trying to hone this thing. I know it's there. I know it's something that happens to me, so I'm going to try and like push it. Okay. But again, very very selfish. He wants to be able to do this. Just think of what I could do if I could do this.
All right. So, Chris, was it one dark, two dark?
It was one dark.
Okay. All right. So, describe this to me.
So it's just Grist and I, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to approach the airlock. I'm going to tap on the window.
He, you stops, like you see him kind of like stop, and he like goes to like the kneeling position.
Grazakrut. You seek prey, and I wish not to deny it from you.
You see his eyes like open up as he's like watching you like calmly.
I understand that your hunt is of true purpose, and I will not interfere with it, and I will continue my bargain, and I will take you to Ord Vaxel. But myself and my compatriots are to be unharmed.
Off limits. Tell him off limits.
Off limits.
As you finish speaking, he sits there for a moment. You've defeated me in combat. You've defeated me in combat. The victor sets the rules.
You didn't tell us that. No, I'm not there. I'm just.
I will continue my hunt and I will assist you in yours. There's clearly more strength to be learned.
I see. I'm glad that we can come to an accord.
Give him the food.
At this point, I'm going to, without touching the button, I'm, just force powered open up the button.
No. He doesn't move. He's still sitting there.
Yep. And be like, if you want food, there's some in the mess hall. And I walk away with the door open.
Oh, snap.
I'm standing there with the tray of food that I brought, like, oh. And I turn around and walk with the tray away.
Yeah. So, he slowly stands up and, like, it's weird. He has this weird because you're sensing, you're feeling this power. What you're getting from all of this talk, Grist, from whatever Victus said, is think of like a boiling pot. Or like a rolling magma in a volcano. The originally when you first sense him, it's cold. It's very dark and just empty. But as you approach, you can feel that there's like a fire that you can kind of light up into him. He just has this deep, primal rage. You don't know a lot about it, but it's the feeling of something irreplaceable has been taken from him. And nothing can fill that void besides the fire. And the more he feeds it, the less he feels that void. But
do I feel the void is something I don't this, and if this is reaching, I have no problem. Do I feel the void is something Victus is taken? Like is there a sense of connection to Victus?
What is your power and what is your level of power and strength? Because as you increase in sense, you can get deeper thoughts, deeper levels. Do you have any other points?
I just have the sense base power. Okay. That's the only thing I purchased.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to do a fun little thing. How many deep points I have? I'm going to burn a dark side point as you're kind of pulling in to. You wanted this power. You said that. You're like, what if I did better? Like, what if I follow this?
How much could I do? Again, I go with dark as it's greed. It's not personal growth. It's personal gain.
Yep. You were like,
I sounded pretty villainous there, didn't I?
No, definitely. No, it's 100%. You're like,
sip Grist.
You're like, I have this thing, and why shouldn't I use it? Like, this is your primal animal instinct kicking in. I mean, you actually like push deeper into his essence, his force, and you can feel, you catch kind of visions and senses just like you did before. What you see is like, it's hard, it's fuzzy, it's almost like small visions. There's dusty dirt. You hear the sound of like crackling chains. You feel burning like whips and shocks. You can feel like dried mouth. All of these tortures that he has experienced, you feel that. You feel this deep sense of purpose, of existence gone. Not because of anything else, but just this experience, his change, no matter how much you feel your own muscles pull against this, you know you are hollow, and nothing you can do can fix it. And so the only way that you cannot hate yourself is you have to hate those around you. And then you go a little bit deeper, and you feel this intense heat. You feel yourself running through an Imperial corridor, tearing open doors, pushing and killing people. You enter and you see a frozen carbonite Twi'lek pushed against it. You see fire and smoke coming from vents hanging around. You don't, like, it's hard to feel, but your body feels bigger, heavier. Your field of vision is different. You hear from your voice that sounds raspy and different. No, friend, I will get you out. As blaster bolts go off, as you feel your hand reach out and you feel the snapping of bones from your hand, as you look over and you see troopers fall, and then you hear as a red light, a constant beam fills from the smoky darkness. Your primal instinct kicks in, danger like you haven't felt in a while. You turn one more time to look at the carbonite Twi'lek. I will hunt you again. I will free you, friend. As he runs out, that goes dark. And then as you're coming back, something kind of jolts you. You're a monster! As you feel this like bump, and then you're back.
My ears just drop to the back of my head.
It made me feel bad.
I walk a little quicker with my tray and catch up with Victus. And then look behind me to see if Graz is following us.
Graz is following you. He seems like normal, stoic. He doesn't seem upset about it. This is his new life. It's almost sad to see just how quickly he fell in footstep, and you realize this is very similar to the NFIs you had when you got them on the ship. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, they're just being helpful, and you're like, no, this is what abuse looks like. This is you fall in line because it's familiar. And when someone with more power than you exerts that, you know what to do to help keep that power in check.
Victus, we need to talk later. Grass, here's the meal we prepared for you, and I'm going to set it on the table. And as he's coming in, back away. Not showing fear, but not letting him out of my sight.
That was awesome, and I hate you because you made me feel bad about what I did.
Well, you shouldn't feel bad because he was a bad person.
Yeah, but now, like, I legitimately hurt his feelings. And I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Zengi bad guy, but does not mean I'm bad guy.
he like looks at you and like as you kind of like place it and stand by the side Grist, he nods and then sits and begins to like again. His claws are huge. He's not this small food isn't really used to it. You can see him kind of like sniff at it because you guys don't have like meat. You have like pretty much sludge, and he's like You see him kind of
or
like
cubes.
just cubes. He kind of like pokes with his talons the cubes, and he licks the plate just like as he's just eating like this animal. He like licks it clean. This is good meal. How long until we get to our hunt?
You know what? I'm gonna go check. Victus, could you help me? I'm gonna head up to the bridge.
I pause in the door frame and look back at him. 3 days. And I keep walking.
He nods and just kind of like, you see him just kind of like sitting there as you guys leave.
Okay, so once in the bridge, does Victus follow?
Yep.
Okay,
I'm right here with you.
Get in the bridge. I'm gonna go sit down. I'm gonna do this conspiratorial with my hand, wave you over.
I'll take the seat next to him.
So I'm working on something, and I think I can read minds, or something like that.
Yeah, you can. You can sense them.
What?
I thought you knew about this. I've sensed this for weeks now. You don't know this?
Oh, no, I didn't. I mean,
you're force touched.
What does that mean?
You said there's these small midichlorians. I'm just kidding.
Don't you dare! No. All of it's gone.
Ban from the table.
Victus begins to feel pressure around his throat.
Remember how you said you weren't really evil?
Yes, I ruined it.
I'm just kidding. Okay, sorry. That was a really good moment. I fucking ruined it.
Victus, I hate you. Because you made me feel again.
Even if it was just anger. So, yes, you're force touched. You have the ability to tap into the greater will.
I don't understand that, but I'm pretty sure I understand what's going on with Grass.
Oh.
So I saw in his mind, or maybe I was there, or something like that. Ears completely flat on my head. Were you in Carbonite?
I look away. I have never brought this up to anyone here.
Right.
Nor does anyone know.
Right, that's why.
I was in Carbonite for, I believe, 50 years.
My ears don't come up. Oh.
What is it that you saw?
Oh. If I understood what I saw correctly, I think Graz tried to save you. In the vision, I could see you in Carbonite frozen. And I was going to get you, or he was going to get you, or the hands I was controlling were going to get you. And then there was blaster fire, and it kind of shook and got dark, and we left, but he said he would save you, or he would come back for you. He called you, and I looked out the
yeah, he's not near
out the cockpit and looked back. He called you friend. And then when it jumped forward, there was kind of like this jarring move, and the next thing I heard was you calling him a monster. I'm not sure. It's not good.
He's a broken individual.
At
one time,
thought you'd want to know.
I appreciate that. At one time, he was better. But pain can cause scars to form, and these scars do not heal.
Ever?
Not that I've ever seen.
50 years. You were in 50 years?
Yes.
50, and so...
But it was not 50 years to me.
No, but if it was 50 years to him, looking for his friend?
You've given me a lot to think about, Grist. And I kind of just walk out.
I watch him go, and then, busy myself doing something piloty.
Yep. Pretty much, just making sure the ship's on course, there's no variance. What about Jimothy? What have you been doing for your 3 days? Anything in particular? Or?
Nothing really important. I've been trying to avoid Grist and... Or, not Grist.
Graz.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute.
No, sorry.
Graz and Grist.
I've been trying to avoid Graz because Jimothy is frankly very terrified of him and doesn't trust him at all. So, yeah.
Yeah. Essentially what you see from him is you're, like, I'm assuming working in different areas, like fixing up bombs, fixing up, like, making sure that the gas canisters, your fuel canisters are, like, safe and secured. Writing up plans and something, I'm imagining. Anytime he, like, enters a room, you can kind of feel it, and he'll watch you as you do things, and he'll watch you for a bit. But once you, like, kind of, like, keep looking back, he moves away. Like, he just kind of, like, seems to be wandering the ship. It doesn't, you don't feel that same intense of, like, I'm hunting you guys, but it's almost like, you know what it's like.
Still feel the presence.
You feel, because you know how dangerous he is. So your instincts kick in and let you know that. But this feeling of almost, hey, like, it's hard when someone on the Sandcrawler loses their position. Like, it's that reestablishing the hierarchy of the tribe. Like, it's almost similar to that, as he's just kind of looking around.
Okay.
Locke, are you doing anything for your 3 days? Have you moved your power cell over?
Yeah, I did do that. I had 2 criticals on the way from the last place. So I'm assuming that I only healed one of those because we went back 7. Does that take, like, extra rest or anything?
So criticals take 7 days. You do have a medical kit. Anyone who has medicine can help heal a critical wound check.
So, I mean, I imagine that I'm probably not around as much as I normally would be on account of those critical wounds. I'm probably spending more time in my cabin. I do jury-rig my heavy blaster instead of my blaster carbine, just to move that over at some point during the trip. But most of my time is sort of spent going over manuals and schematics and trying to take it easy, despite my instinct telling me that I need to protect the ship from this ravening lunatic. But, he's Victus's friend, so I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, as you're kind of, like, working on pieces, like, you workshop in your own area, something like in different parts of the ship. There's always, like, little workbenches and things around. You will also see Graz as he kind of comes by. Your body is stiff and sore from your injuries. As he, like, walks by you, it kind of, like, stands near you for a second. Not behind you, like, he actually, like, makes sure that you can see him.
Yeah, I mean, I consider him, I have respect for him as a warrior, and I make sure that, that's known. Like, I'll nod to him when he passes. I don't shirk away from him in fear. I don't seek out his company or anything. I'm a little, I was all team Graz until he started talking about jettison people for no reason. So at that point, I realized that he was a little bit of a loose cannon. And so at that point, I started to keep my distance and just kind of regard him with the respect of a fellow warrior, fellow hunter.
Essentially, as he sees you, like, working, you kind of catch him, the side glances, give him the head nod. He will see your wounds should be worn with pride. As you see him kind of, like, look towards his own wrist as he, like, runs his claws over his scales around it, kind of, like, picking at the budding ones that are there.
So, out of character, is it common knowledge that Trandoshans regenerate? Like, would I have the wherewithal to like, ask, like, why haven't those healed?
Yes, it is common knowledge that Trandoshans, by this point in Star Wars lore, that Trandoshans are regenerative species. So do you ask him?
So I will say, what's the story with those scars? I thought your type kind of healed through that by now.
he actually kind of like goes still for a second, like looking down, and he like.
I mean,
looks
he brought
quickly.
it up. So.
Yeah, he looks quickly at you, and then like clicks at it, and you see him like scratching at his own wrist, like he's pulling out his scales. He's actively keeping them like fresh. As he looks at it and then at you, reminders to never be exposed, to not be weak, to leave myself stronger. Each one is proof of challenge overcome.
So now I'm wondering to myself if Trandoshans have control over their regenerative ability, and just kind of nod.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Like if this is a willful, refrain from regenerating.
Good question. If there's anything else you guys want to do, if not, you're.
Do you want me to make a medicine roll?
Yes. Would you like to help Locke?
Of course, I'm going to help him.
Okay, Locke, if you're willing to let Grist to perform his many other feats of mechanic and cook and barber.
I got about the second shot going.
Like a goddamn multi-tool.
But all he's got on his head is horns. I'm like,
I do have hair. I have hair. I have
Do
white
you?
hair.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was all
he has
horns.
fierce
Long and
horns.
braid it, and it goes
Yeah.
kind of towards the back.
Yeah,
So why did you want me to cut?
Yeah. This will be, you're helping heal a critical injury. This is a 2 difficulty. You do have the medical pack, which will add a blue, and remember, it gives an automatic success as well.
Okay.
Already. Is there anything else that you could think of? Anything on the ship? Anything that you might want to role play to explain?
I am curious if the Twi'lek that we dropped off has any career aspirations, and if he's looking for a co-pilot job, because I am just, between me and him, I am kind of curious if that was something he would entertain, just to have someone to maybe, chart a course here and there. Or
If you were asking, I mean, would you have recommended to this Twi'lek a job with the Black Suns to be like, hey man?
I mean,
about life and crime?
Is it not obvious? I mean, do we have Black Sun insignia?
Oh yeah, your
So,
ship has the initial
Yeah.
on the top and bottom of it. Like it's perfectly fit.
like these
there.
guys know the Black
You-
Sun
you-
rescued them
you-
from the Rim.
Yeah, you have the
mean-
the riot gear armor with it.
I have
The
it on
rest
my
of you
armor.
have-
That's right.
Yeah,
on my
the rest
shoulder.
of you have some type of brand or marking. They make sure you leave on point.
So the interesting thought becomes: Are we fucking up their rep? Oh look, the Black Sun just saved us.
Yeah.
Oh look, the Black Sun just got food.
Who knows? That's something you'll receive in a status report when you come back.
I
to
realize
base.
you guys have gotten everything we've asked you guys
Hey,
to do done.
look,
but
guys-
we have some
Guys, can I
problems.
call you to my office real fast?
We accidentally saved these guys. They were there where you sent us. We didn't mean to. They had guns, and we needed extra hands.
We're
So, I
fine
mean,
that you saved them. We don't appreciate that you sold the weapons that we should have sold. We don't appreciate you freed the slaves that should have been our slaves. There's just, we need to talk about, do you remember what our mission statement is? Have you read our policy? Where's the handbook? Jimothy, give him the handbook.
those were pre-enslaved NFIs.
Oh, so they're skilled labor. They're skilled labor. They're used to being enslaved.
They're prisoners with unpaid jobs.
All right.
Oh, that's good. No, yeah, I mean, not super seriously, but
but I mean,
like
if you-
Locke is kind of curious about the
If-
possibility of having someone that could, babysit the ship, because the other side of this is that I went back for the ship instead of going down into the facility, and so that was something. Grist came out unconscious, and so that's something that Locke is kind of contending with. Do we need more help to keep this ship in the air and to come pick us up when we need a hot takeoff? So that's why that's the
No,
source
that's a
of
fair
all
one.
this.
I would say, yeah, if you offered, I'll tell you this, if you offered the Twi'lek because of how your experience with them went, if you offered to have contact with them, they would let you know, like, hey, this is my hollow number, so we can get into calls and I can give you, like, lessons. And if you offered them a job at the Black Sun, like, they would legitimately...
Well, I don't know if I
consider-
have the authority to do that, but I do want to suggest something along the lines of like, hey, if you're looking for work, you want
We
to come
weren't
back
told
with us.
it's not our ship.
Yeah. If you
This is your ship. Remember,
That's
this
what I
is-
just said. We were not told this is not our ship. So us inviting someone to come onto our ship.
Yeah.
Right, but if we invite them, then we pay them. But my logic was sort of like, come back with us. We'll
Do you
give you.
have to?
we'll give you a little now if needed, but really you're going to work for our employers, and we're not going to pay you.
That's an interesting way to take it. That's
Yeah.
not the way I would. Okay.
I mean,
Kind of
we can,
outsourcing the position.
guys, we called in a consultant.
A consultant, yeah. We need a consultant because you guys didn't send us with a astrogator. If you don't remember, you guys had to chart our course when we first left.
In Jimothy's opinion, it's better to beg forgiveness than ask permission. I say we hire him.
I just like the idea. You're like, you know what, bosses? This is our monthly review meeting. We would think we need more training. We don't think you offer us enough training. They're like, we give you literally all the ammunition and fire practice. You can do any of these things. You just have to ask around.
Of course, through all of that, Grist has got his arm crossed.
Now,
his
Grist,
chest.
he's just a co-pilot. He's co-pilot,
He's
not
just an
pilot.
amazing
So, like my employee.
hyperlane scouter.
I mean, don't boss him around or anything.
Well,
We don't-
no.
you know.
No, of course not.
So you want to hire this person?
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I think if one of us would like to negotiate with him, I think we could maybe work something out. I don't know, but I would like to get his number, and while we're docked, I will communicate with the team about my intentions.
Well,
And-
how important is it to get him on board? Because the options would be I can negotiate him with him, or Grass could.
This would be either negotiation or or an intimidate if you have Graz. Graz is like,
Apparently only Locke caught that one.
Yeah,
so.
no, I mean, I think we should probably ask him first.
Okay. Well, you seem to have known him better than I was. I mean, I was
He
out
seemed to
for
know
most of the
what he was
time.
doing.
Yeah. No. I get you. I get you.
let me go.
Can't help to have an extra person on the ship so that someone could pick us up if need be.
And I actually question back on home where everyone told me how smart I was, telling me that there was nothing more they could teach me. Because it seems like there's a lot more I
I'm
can
sorry,
learn.
Grist, but they lied.
Okay.
There is a lot more to learn.
Yeah. So are you going to try to
You will
charm
never know it
them?
all.
Are you going to try to make a deal with them?
Deal. We're going to go deal.
All right, so negotiation it is. This negotiation check will be 2 purple.
Okay.
You will get 1 blue if
Locke is going with
if
me.
Locke is present.
Absolutely. And go with that.
Yep.
1 success, 1 advantage.
Yeah, if you're willing to negotiate versus asking them to be your crew, you're going to negotiate some type of deal.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be your co-pilot, they'll be your astrogator, your pilot, your like pretty much your backup person.
And ship babysitter. Don't forget ship babysitter.
Yeah, and they'll do it, but
Don't
they
call
want.
it that, though.
They're going to argue that they want like 10% of your credits.
10%.
Wait, no. That's perfect. 10% of your credits, and then the 4 of us can split that amount, and it'll be fine.
Well,
It's
that's
like 2.5% a
credits.
person.
You're gonna cheat out a newly freed individual. Look, man, we made 30,000 credits. You don't get 10% of that. You get 10% of his 10%. It's like 2 credits, man. This is stupid.
I didn't know that Ferengi were in the Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jesus.
that is a steep price.
Yeah.
I don't know, you guys.
Well, you know what? We'll negotiate depending on how dangerous this is. If it's calmer and it's easy money, he'll negotiate a smaller price. But if he's going to be doing stuff like this with freeing people, I mean, things can be dangerous.
that's
We can
not
agree
normally
that
what
the
we
Black
do.
Sun will pay him when we return.
Okay, so we
So you're like, we'll pay you, but we'll also put in a
They'll
good
pay
word
you.
with the Black Sun and see what they can
Yeah.
negotiate. All right, I appreciate it. I'll have to roll up this character for you because you guys now have a new crew member, an NPC crew member.
Now we have 2 Twi'leks. Now you have a Twi'lek friend.
You guys can go to like just Twi'lek.
Yeah.
Twins were the first we start seeing rooms that say Twilight only. Like, what the
No Lekus, no service.
When did this shit start?
Slowly supplant the whole group. I've supplanted the pilot with a Twi'lek. Now to supplant the gunner and the mechanic.
I've put them in key positions of power.
Right. And then my coup, the Twi'lek revolution will be...
Okay, yeah. So you'll make this deal. They'll be with you on the ship. They're pretty much doing these 3 days. They'll be talking to you. If you guys ask them, like, how to fly, they'll explain the ship. They are willing to talk to you about astrogation, piloting, ship maintenance, and gunnery.
Yeah.
They legitimately, like, are very well versed.
No,
Yeah,
so you're
I
saying
do.
they and them. Are we getting one?
You're getting one Twi'lek
Got it.
pilot.
I do.
Can we have a name for this
can.
person?
Yeah.
Not yet.
No,
get
they were slave one. Now they get to have a new name. No, they can't be
Can't be
Boba Fett
slave
ship.
one.
Right, I was gonna say
Okay.
that's taken.
That's this name is unavailable.
Sorry,
This
that name
in
was
use.
taken. We'll have to do random generator.
I do. Yeah, I mean, I do want to pick up what I can about astrogation, primarily, and also a little bit about piloting. You never know when Grist is going to come out of a facility unconscious again. So.
You never know when your pilot's gonna be unconscious, so you put in your
Seems like
second
a fairly common thing so far. In these first 2 seasons, Grist seems to be down more than up. So.
Don't worry.
Well,
you
hopefully,
put,
if I go with you guys next time, that won't happen.
you'll put
that
in
won't
your
be
second
necessary.
string pilot.
You
who's
won't have to
somehow
throw him
better
into
than
the
your
bad
original
guys.
pilot. Their stats are really good. That's the terrifying part. I was like, what are they good at? Oh, exactly this. This is fantastic. Yeah, so they're pretty much teaching you along the ship. So your 3 days pass without incident. You've upgraded your weapons. You've healed. You've repaired your wounds.
Did you roll a medicine roll for me?
Oh, that's what that's what we're supposed to do.
That's right.
All right,
Back
so
on
the
track.
medicine roll. So there was a blue and then 2, and you said, did we think there was anything else?
Because
And
is
I
there
don't think there
anything?
is.
No. Okay, and you remember that you already have an automatic
One success.
Yep.
So, that's awesome. So I have 5 successes, 1 advantage.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah, so he heals your wounds.
Wow, I don't trust him to work on the ship,
Like an
but I guess I
automatic
trust him to
Yeah,
work
because
on me without.
the kit automatically allows you to do it. The kit
mauling
also
me.
gives you a free stim pack every battle, which is really weird. It just generates a nano juice. Here you
Little
go.
nano juice.
Because that's what it is. They describe it. I agree. I think it should be back to because that's what it was.
Yeah.
But per the game mechanics, it's literally that's why it.
I don't remember there ever being nanobots in Star Wars. Like that's not a thing I've ever noticed.
It's when they started introducing really stupid, dumb cybernetics. When they're like,
Like in the Star Wars Legends stuff where it gets really
where it's
goofy.
where it's like this robot who's not a robot because he has a human brain,
Right.
has the Force, but he's also a Terminator. And
Yeah.
You're like, so he's just better Darth Vader, and they're like, no, we would never say that.
Right.
Your words, not mine. No, it's dumb. It's very dumb. But it's essentially just, it's a mixture of like chemicals, drugs. They pretty much just give you a cocktail of like painkillers and
Long Island
regenerative. I could argue Bacta and other like Long Island iced tea kind of mixtures. And essentially why it loses it is essentially there's more drugs in your blood system than blood. And so it's like, man, I just feel really good with this morphine shot. It's like, here you go, bloop. And you're like, I'm not even feeling it anymore, man. Because that's why it goes down from 5 to
4 to 3 to
2 to 1. Okay.
All right.
So thanks a lot, Grist. You're actually pretty good at this. I appreciate you not crippling me, sewing my shoulder up. Just a word of advice, buddy. You're pushing yourself pretty hard, and you're taking on a lot of roles around the ship. I just think,
Pick a lane.
Thanks, Victus. I was getting there.
I'm nice about it.
just don't take on too much. You might overwork yourself. We don't want to end up with.
I just imagine as you say that, like Raz hops in the back. Yes, you suck, small cat creature.
Please, Grazzy's hamster.
Like you hear Victus screaming from the other cabin. Pick a lane.
This is what we do. This is team building.
Oh, that's great. I love that.
Okay, yeah. So, without any further ado, you guys reach Ordvaxel's system. As you come out of hyperspace, your sensors begin to kick back up. You can see the planet in front of you. It's a mostly waterous planet. There's 3 large continents, mixtures of swamplands, ice, and then just this vast, very dangerous ocean.
Hey, everybody come up to the cockpit.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
Okay.
Lock.
Everyone's gathered. Your co-pilot's just sitting there making sure they're charging.
So they're going to at some point ask us things like ship name and that type of stuff. Are we going with...
I don't believe this planet is run by the First Order, correct? This is.
I'm just saying nobody's just going to say... Nobody's going to say just land, right? I mean, they're going to ask something.
Yeah, I mean, why not just... They'll look at our transponder. They'll know what our ship
So
is.
what I'm trying to get at is be honest.
I don't...
So, out of character, the Black Sun should have some approach to this, right? Like, do they give us
To Ordvaxel?
fake? No. Do
necessarily.
they give us fake codes,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
or is this ship not in some way. Like, we're not going around hiding.
Yeah. No, this ship is your ship. You didn't ask for any type of like scramble or anything like that because those are very expensive. You can do things like that yourself if you have people who know enough computer skills and stuff to do that. It's a lot harder without the
So
tools
we have a
and
code.
pieces.
It's a legitimate code for this ship.
Your ship
and if
has
somebody
essentially-
takes it in, then they could track it to the Black Sun.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's this could be easily yours. While you guys are kind of having that talk about like, hey, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna flip over another dark side.
Uh-oh.
And then you hear this Twi'lek go, guys, incoming! As you hear like, as you can see on the screen, red little dots begin to appear. There's about 4 little dots coming in high speed at your ship. It looks like we got TIE fighters coming in. Take up positions, guys.
To the guns! Crap! Somebody else is gonna have to take one. I can't do it in pilot.
Who's
That's exactly what we were
I ain't
talking
picking
about.
a lane.
who's going where?
I'll hop on a gun, I guess.
All right.
It's gonna use gunnery.
Yep.
Which I have no ranks in.
I got 4 green.
I raised mine.
It's a good stat to have.
It's really good
A
stuff.
lot of skills use efficiently.
So, where are you guys going? Who's doing what?
I'm in the pilot's chair.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take
you have
the-
a co-pilot.
Ventral gunner.
Okay, so you're gonna take the ventral is top.
I'm
No,
assuming the
ventral.
No,
Twi'lek
bottom,
is
yeah,
the
dorsal's top.
co-pilot in this situation, but
Who's up?
if Victus wants to be, get out of that chair.
I mean, he can do it better than I can.
Yeah.
So there's not much I could do.
I mean, you
I
have
cheerlead.
an open gun.
No, there's no open gun.
There, you have 2. You have a dorsal and a ventral.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I'll take
Jimothy's
the-
doing. Okay.
Rati Jimothy is going there.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is our word.
Is it a good word? I don't understand.
Right. Well, yeah.
Raz is sitting. Will be standing with you as you guys are kind of like watching the ship take off.
Oh yeah.
All
Be
right.
careful. Don't let him throw you down the ladder. Because
I'm going to shoot.
yeah.
Brother, help me! Long live the king! No, Grass! It's like a Treasure Planet. He comes up to you guys after the battle. Victus's rope, it broke. He fell out into space.
It's strange.
fell out into
Guys,
space.
you know what's slowing this ship down? Too much oxygen. I opened all of the airlocks.
Anyway.
All right, so we're going to be entering space combat.
Oh, boy.
Essentially, what will happen is just like regular combat, you guys each have an order. So what we'll do is roll your initiative. This will be cool because you guys were ambushed from these 4 TIE fighters coming in. And then what will happen is whoever is the primary pilot will also roll for the initiative of their ship. So the ships will have turns, and then inside your ship turn, your team will have turns, essentially doing different parts of the ship to help build a more cinematic universe. What did we get for the Grist? You're the main pilot. What did you get for your ship's roll?
The ship is 2 success, 1 advantage.
Okay. And then what is inside your ship? What are your guys' rolls?
Lot got 1 success, 1 advantage.
Grist, 2 advantage.
I mean, there's not much I can do, so yeah, I could roll.
Oh, there's things you can do.
Okay.
Remember, someone might have to do maintenance.
That's your cool?
Oh, no, sorry, I thought we were doing agility, my bad. Cool.
That's funny because I'm
That's
having
a
you
lot of
roll, but
cool.
essentially I don't know why I'm doing that because you all have
4 success.
4 success. Okay.
Remember
Shoot,
that,
shoot,
that
shoot,
we get to
One
choose where
success,
we
1
go.
advantage.
Right.
So you will get us the first slot, almost guaranteed.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah, let's throw me on repairs. It's looking like it's gonna be a real good result.
okay. Hey,
like,
you never know. You never know.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly. I try and turn it off and turn it back on. My knowledge ends there.
So essentially, you actually tied Victus with their 4 successes as well.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay, so I'll let Grist go first then.
All right. So what we'll do is we'll establish the order. So it'll be your team. So we'll have your ship take first. It'll be however you break it down in your order of your 4 people, and then it'll be my 4 ships taking action. So, who wants to take first in your ship's actions? Who wants to respond first?
So-
assume you've all made it to your positions.
What actions, as a pilot, can I do? I am not skilled like 6 was. And I know 6 had a lot of options.
Yeah, so there are different general actions that you can do. There are, like, just like any combat, you have maneuvers and movements and attacks. The other things you can do special things like boost it, stay on target. These are skills that allow your ship to have like other dice, other bonuses.
How many targets on screen?
You see 4. The beautiful part is, regardless, so I'm looking through the Edge of Empire and the Forced and Destinies, they all share the same, so whatever page number you look at is actually the same page number for all books. Really fun fact. I'm trying to look up because they have Starship profiles, but they should have Starship and Vehicle Combat. There we go. Page 230. So it should be the same on yours, is how I believe that should go.
I was gonna say that's gonna come across.
Yeah, so you can you have maneuvers. So you have things like accelerate, decelerate, fly and dive, evasive maneuver, stay on target, punch it. Things like damage control, angle deflector shields. There's a lot of like these little tactics. So like accelerate and decelerate allows the pilot may increase or decrease the ship or vehicle speed by 1 to a minimum of 0. Fly or dive allows you to like maneuver your ship into different areas. Evasive maneuver avoids incoming fire. It's kind of like dodge for ships.
Well, I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to use evasive maneuvers to start.
Okay, so it upgrades, evasive maneuvers upgrades the difficulty dice for my attacks made against your ship. This makes it for you guys to hit anything else. So executing an evasive maneuver likewise upgrades the difficulty dice of your attacks trying to target. Essentially, you're like barrel rolling the ship and like banking, so it's making your gunners have a little bit more struggle. So upgrading a difficulty dice normally means that it goes from a purple to a red. You are, because it's the same as the
And there's been no call to us to like do.
We went We went first. They didn't shoot at us, and you're just like.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, Grist, hold it steady, man. I can't even see him anymore.
You guys got in, and he's like, no, barrels.
No, we're supposed to shoot at them, not the other way around.
Would you still like to do that maneuver? I know there's other things.
No, yeah, we don't know what they're gonna do. We have no idea. They haven't made any
They haven't
demands.
hailed us.
Yeah.
Or
But they've come in without saying anything. So
Oh, yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
Grist. I mean, so the way I look at it is in the forest, if something comes at you and it doesn't say anything, it's bad. And I start evasive maneuvers. Do we need to actually roll a pilot roll?
Nope. So essentially, your ship is moving. Are you just trying to like? Are you gonna try to move your ship's full speed and like just kind of zig and zag
Yes.
and try to? Okay, perfect. So essentially, you guys are banking left, right, accelerating, decelerating. You're kind of just all over the place. Like it looks like someone is, they're probably screaming "B, B." All right, this leads up next. Who would like to be the next action? Your gunners?
I think the gunners, if we can do it, should hold till we know what's going
Yeah.
on.
Gunners would like to hold an action.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to fire
Victus,
first.
is there anything you'd like to do from this strange maneuver?
Was there, when we were coming in, I know this went really quickly, but when we were coming in, was there a city? Was
Not
there a
for-
population center we saw?
Not from the time that you had to use your scanners. You pretty much got a general.
So
scan.
this is certainly not a paved planet.
No,
Okay.
it's very much like think like very dangerous Hawaii. There's very few continents. The ones that are there are mostly wildlife or like extreme environments, like extreme vegetation or extreme cold or extreme desert.
So this was something I was thinking about, and I probably should speak up in the future quicker, but I was wondering about the fact that we don't know where we're going.
All right, so you're gonna try to like take to the plane
Oh, yeah.
and just spinning.
I'm just-
Okay. Well, they're gonna start going on the offensive. They're gonna catch up and they're gonna try to attack. I have to increase their difficulty dice.
Getting dizzy going in corkscrews.
Yeah.
It's not the only maneuver I know. Hang on.
Try
Like,
spinning.
try the other way.
Try spinning. That's a neat trick.
Not helping, Victus. Not helping.
Try listing slightly to the left. Trust me, they'll never see it coming.
Oh man.
All
We're
right.
going to be cleaning up all the vomit inside the ship.
Right.
To success as the first TIE fighter. As you guys are kind of spinning this TIE fighter, you can see on your screen, on your guns, you can see the like dots moving around because as your ship's changing angles and stuff, it's like, cool, it should be, and it's over here now. Like it's coming from the left side, it's coming from the top. Because essentially your ship's scanners are getting moved around.
Where the hell are you?
The first ship does 6 damage against your ship's hull. Remember, you do have shields. Shields act as soak. Do you have any type of armor on
I have
your
3
ship?
armor as well, so a
she-
total of 4.
So the shields don't act as soak.
No, the shields don't. You're right. The shields add. Actually, let me tell you that shields add difficulty dice.
1 black per shield.
Yep, 1 black per shield. It doesn't affect anything. So damage still goes through. So you take your damage minus your armor.
Okay, so we're going to take 2 points of hull damage.
Okay. Boom, 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 boom. As you guys feel it, next ship's going in.
Okay, that's going to cost.
That's going to cost a lot. It's about $1,000 right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you're supposed to upgrade it bad, meaning they got reds, not yellows.
Yep. No, they get reds. I have 1 red, 2 purple, because they are close. They're making themselves close range to you, and then essentially their skill in piloting. This one gained 3 threat. So you guys, how would you like this threat to act against them?
I figure that I'm go in. I turn sideways. Let me take a look at the options for threat. 3 threat.
Let's say they're thrown off by his erratic movements.
So the active character falls prone. So I'm going to say that this one, I would say that it ends up flying out to safeguard itself, and because we're not going to be able to make it crash.
Yeah, it can't fall prone, but the active character grants the enemy a significant advantage in an ongoing encounter, such as accidentally blasting the controls to the village he was planning to use for his escape. So cinema style. Yeah, there we go. That's a word.
Cinema style.
Cinema style. Guys, welcome to Movie Phone.
Yeah. Thin.
So essentially, yeah, like, what would you like? So maybe the ship
So what I'm
flies in
thinking
another
is,
ship.
as we're
like,
rolling-
What if
fire?
it adds a black die, a setback die to its
could.
subsequent attacks?
Like I said, falls prone to me is not he's going to crash.
Yeah.
But it's going to put him out to where. So if you fall prone, normally you have to get up.
Yeah.
So this puts him so far off course, he's got to
Okay.
come back. That's
Okay.
what I'm envisioning for one of
I
them.
like that. So pilot 3 essentially overshot is like you
Right.
flipped over him.
And he's
You
like,
went
oh,
whoop.
and, you know, he's like,
"Shoo,"
shoo, and he
yep.
goes around the
Yep.
whatever the feature, the
All right.
ground feature is.
Let's see if my last person can do what he needs to do. 1 success, your ship will take another 6 damage.
What's going on up there, Grist?
What they're hitting us, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
Yeah, you're doing your best at keeping us from shooting anything. I can't shoot anything spinning
All right.
around in a circle.
You could have shot already.
So these ships are like flying around you, buzzing through you. You guys have actions. What were you kind of waiting for? We'll say, what are you
To
shooting?
figure out if we were going to shoot back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I was
they're
waiting
shooting-
for the ship to come across because it keeps going across really fast. My firing angle. So as soon as it comes across, I'm just pulling the trigger.
Alright. Essentially, would you gunners like to go? You've seen blaster
Yes.
fire. You felt your ship hit twice. Would you guys like to shoot?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with Jimothy. Jimothy, don't forget to add a red dice to your own attack. This is in
Wow,
close-
evasive maneuvers hurts us too.
Yes, because you are flipping
Hold
the
it
ship
steady up there,
around.
Grist.
That it makes it hard for your gunners to aim as you're pretty much spinning and diving and throwing your sensors off.
Okay, and how many purples?
You guys are in short range, medium range, so this will be
2.
1 purple, 1 red. And then these guys have no shields, so you don't need to add any black, and then whatever benefits you have.
This TIE fighter's such a great aircraft.
Because it's the best aircraft. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, people.
It is,
X-Wing.
Don't let those X-Wing liars tell you. It's propaganda, all right? It's propaganda. The TIE fighter is the imperial arm of the military.
I got 2 successes.
All right.
No advantages, so we can't do
No.
the link. But that's going to be 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Okay. Boom. No, it's not that bad. It's kind of bad. Did you shoot at the first one that as immediately as it started shooting, were you quick responding and blasting back?
Sure, yeah. I didn't really
Okay.
pick
Throw
a
my
number.
guts.
I just figured whatever was in range. I would
Okay.
go for.
As
the
this
best
TIE
spot.
fighter flies by and that first one gives you that first hit, you're like, you immediately turn your blaster as it's kind of going past you and you shoot it in the back of its wing. You see your holes tear through it as the thing begins to smoke and it's like, like listing. It is not destroyed, but it is deeply.
And are we still taking stress for our
Failures and successes. Yes.
threats?
Yep. You can still heal if you choose to give up advantage. All right, second gunner. Remember, 1 purple, 1 red, whatever your other skills are, and then there are no blacks because, again, you have no shields.
3 successes and 2 advantage.
Yes, so linked,
Hell yeah.
Kicks up. Yep, so Link does double damage, so whatever your damage is, times 2.
16.
Yes.
Boom! As this second one, this is the one that you flipped over. So essentially,
And he's
as-
like, all Locke did was wait for it to come in range.
Yeah.
essentially, yeah.
I kept the gun steady.
You're like, trust me, he's gonna line it up.
Yeah.
Grist has to have some knowledge. And as you see the dot beat,
Maybe he does know what
it
he's
kind
doing
of
up
sits as you're like, ship. There's a clarity as you can literally see from your bubble gun to their TIE fighter bubble as they're looking at him. You're like, oh, this poor pilot. Click, boom, 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 boom. Thing it blows up. Flames around you, the fans, the wings, like spinning past your ship as you barrel roll through them, up and over its explosion.
Kaboom.
Beautiful hit.
Nice shot, Locke!
Don't get cocky.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, good job, guys. As this is kind of happening, these ships are going crazy. Graz kind of like sits here, kind of grabbing this. He's like, so as you guys are swaying, this isn't the most gravitationally safe ship. He kind of like looks at you, Victus, and you can see him like holding it. He like reaches out his hand towards like the front of the ship, as you can feel him beginning to draw on the force.
Oh, he might be able to root rancors as well.
As
Do you feel a disturbance in force?
yeah. As you kind of like watch him, you're kind of like weird for a second. Something seems different about how he's doing it. Where normally there was rage, there's a bit of calm.
Uh-oh.
As one of the ships goes like shoo, flying by, you see it as it begins to like crunch as it flies past it.
Maybe he can teach a thing or two.
Yeah.
Don't tell him that.
It stopped for a second, like cracked a bit, and then moved forward. Essentially, it looks like someone's squeezing a can. Yeah, upgraded strength does really cool stuff, man. Yeah.
Noted. All right. Wait, what force power was that?
That's hold. He pretty much... You
Got
have
it.
move.
Yeah.
He's crushing the ship as it's flying by.
I
It
see.
doesn't do as much damage, but essentially he's tearing through its armor.
Can you move a ship into another ship?
I can. Essentially, yeah. You almost did that, and then someone blew it up.
Right.
Whoops.
That was very traumatic for me.
How
Yep.
dare they?
Would you like to do anything, Victus?
I mean, I feel like I've kind of been one up by Graz a little bit there. So I don't really want to do what he just did, and like I'm like, oh, you're right, I got to do this and do this. So no, I'm not going to do anything.
Okay.
My own pride keeps me from intervening.
All right. Back up to our pilot. What's your plan?
I think I'm going to still stay on evasive maneuvers.
God.
I'm rolling the other way.
The Twi'lek with you goes like, boss, you just want us to get... Captain, you just want us to get to the planet?
Well, we gotta land safely.
Okay.
I mean, we're not going to outrun these guys.
I'm not trying to outrun them.
Let's see if they can do this. Let's see if your astrogator can do some cool things. Yeah. You're like, yeah, like get us to the planet. The astrogator's like, got it, Captain. And you hear like, dee.
Yes, I
as
knew it.
they're clicking across the board. I want you to understand they have 3 yellow dice for their skill
Yes.
in astrogation and
Totally worth it.
piloting.
Whoa.
And they got 3 criticals.
Okay.
Like they literally were like, I too feel the force of this ship. Dee. Like,
He's
What?
worth 10%, guys.
Yeah.
guys, have you ever been ship sensitive? It's just like force sensitive, but way more mundane. Yeah, essentially, like as he begins to put in coordinates for your ship actually like stabilizes out more. So even though you're flipping, it's actually like, yeah, we're not actually swaying anymore. Like his charting is making sure that it's going like a counter with the Earth's, like the planet's gravitational pull. You guys don't have the penalty anymore for your attacks, but my team will still receive the penalty.
Nice.
Good job, Grist.
As they get to do really fun stuff.
I don't say anything when he
Yeah.
when he hollers that over
Yeah.
the con.
All right, what would your team like to do? You guys are in close range with these other ships. They pulled themselves into short, so
Oh,
it's
I'd like to shoot them.
Oh, yeah. We're
it's
shooting
1
the hell out of them.
purple, no red. There
Because we're in
is
close.
you're in close.
2 successes, 3 advantage.
You can use advantage to heal.
3 advantage. Well, so 3 advantage. Use one of them. Right, it's 1 for the linked.
It's 2 to activate a linked.
I think that's worth it. That gets you
Double.
2
Alright,
successes.
let's
That'll be
do it.
14 damage.
Yep.
And then the extra 1, you could throw a blue his way.
All right, we'll do that.
What ship are you shooting at? The one that you originally shot at, or
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As that one, like tries to like turn around, you can see it's like smoking tails. It's like flipping itself to flank back. Boom! You just blow it up as it literally turns to face you. Boom! Goes away. That nice starship explosion. Excellent shot. Second gunner, what do we got, Locke?
We got 2 successes, 5 advantage.
Hell yeah.
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 we're
So
gonna
does
twin
this
link again.
have? Would it
And I'm gonna
say
give Barry the
critical if
blue.
we had crit?
Critical, yes. If they had critical, it would give
Okay,
it
so we
critical.
don't have crit. So we have linked. So there's 1. We decided that the advantages do not heal ship damage.
Strain. They don't heal ship wounds.
Wounds.
Or
Have
do
we
they
been
heal
getting
ship?
strain or wounds? We're getting wounds.
The only way to reset the strain on your ship is by shutting it down.
Yep. Your ship must rest. Your
right.
ship also has to rest for days and stuff as you conduct
So
repairs and reset its
with
system.
4 remaining
Gotta give it
advantages,
that,
you could.
defrag.
All right. Another maneuver is not an action. You can add black to the target's next check.
Yeah, so like what I'll do is I'll fire at the target closest to me and then do a little like strafing suppressive run on the. That's not what they were with it. Do a little like shoot the guy that's closest to me and then kind of just trail the gun towards the other guy in an effort to make it harder for him to shoot back and impose a black upon him.
Ooh, okay. You're pretty much like just leading him with your blaster fire.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
This is not what it was, right?
Victus, anything
no,
else you
there
want
were
to do?
2 blacks.
How many ships are left?
3 ships, and one of them is a little damaged. As that's the one.
Were we originally attacked by 5? We've shot.
Oh, sorry, 4. Yeah, 2 are down and 1 is damaged. Yes, you're right. Thank you. And that's the one that Graz choked hold.
What did you do? How did yours do? Did you destroy it? So
Yeah,
he
no.
destroyed 1 to begin with.
I destroyed 2.
You
destroyed 1. The Jimothy destroyed 1. Then you destroyed 1. There is just 1 left.
Yep, we do.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to try to grab it.
All right, give me that force dice. Tell me what powers you draw from.
I rolled a black.
It's on the
I'm
very
not gonna
end.
use it.
What?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not gonna succumb.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I can't preach not to use your anger and then
Do it.
in the same breath use it.
I agree.
Desperate
Beautiful.
times and all
Love
that.
it. Okay. Sadly, it's his turn.
That comes up to my 1 pilot. Let's see what he can do. You have a shield. You have that.
And we have a black die extra
Yeah.
from an extra 2. What did it cost 2 to do that?
It costs 2. Yeah, it left you another 2, which
Yeah.
we had more than 1 guy. You could give it to another person, but
So that's 1 success, 4 threats. So how would you guys like this ship to pretty much explode itself? Because of pretty much you have the 3, so you could knock it prone. You could do
Not get prone.
oh my ship!
It's upside down. Wait a second.
It's prone and spaced. It
could
slipped.
be, like,
Slipped
yeah.
on a space banana peel.
so
Wavering
here's
listlessly.
oh no, it's a maneuver, darn it.
I think it just as it was trying to whip around to chase after us, the G forces of the turn like pulled it apart.
Ooh, you know what? Because you are by this point entering atmospheres.
Yeah.
I'll say that it took it's because it thought it
It
was
sucks to be
fighting-
unshielded.
Yep. No, don't let people lie to you. Don't let people lie to you. This is a false narrative.
Propaganda.
Propaganda from the rebels and resistance. This is terrible people.
There's one best ship.
So
Everyone
it
knows-
basically careens off the atmosphere.
It pretty much like got caught in the Atmo re-entry current. Is it? You literally see it out like tumble, like it's bouncing off a stone, like a skipped stone, just and it's like boom, 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 blows up as it leaves. You guys stop spinning.
And I'm punching it to the planet.
Boom, as you go. Boss, I found some like energy readings. There appears to be some type of base around here. I'll
Get it on my
put it
screen
here.
so we can land.
All right, I'll put in some coordinates, and as you guys enter Ord Vaxel, that is where we will end.
Oh.
Hey.
Awesome.
You have a minion now, Barry.
Thank you for joining us on another NCRP Productions podcast. We couldn't do this without you, so please like and subscribe everywhere we're found, including YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify, and other great podcast sites. If you'd like to help us continue making more content, we'd love to have your support on our Patreon. And if you have any feedback for us, please feel free to comment on our podcasts or email us directly at ncrpproductions@gmail.com. And we'd like to give a special shout out to our current patrons, our Seegson Employees of the Month, David II, F, S, Michael H, and Michael P. And of course, our Breaker of Seals, Frank H, Christopher C, Matthew K, and The Lab. Trademarked. Thank you all. We truly, truly appreciate it.